So we're up again. We've got the static caravan arriving sometime in the next couple of days, so I have hired a mini digger and we're going to be scraping the driveway. We've got 20 tons of hardcore arriving in about 3 hours, so I'm going to get the top top sort of scraped off so that we've got somewhere to put the hardcore down. I've got a mini compactor, you know, one of those vibration plate things. Wait for the tractor to flatten it down. Brought that all the way from Corby where we are, so that you can't get stuff so high here. Also couldn't get a dumper, which means that it's going to be a bit more difficult to move the mud. There's a big pile of mud over here that I've got to move because the caravan's got to go somewhere around here, so I've got to move that. I had a nice surprise when I got here. I was checking all my stuff and that's all still in the same place I left it, which was great. Something we got left as a freebie was a dead sheep, which decided to come and die in the barn inside of a room which I couldn't get to with anything but my hands. So I had to drag out a dead, very smelly sheep last night when I got here, and a little burial ceremony for him. There he is. I didn't have a digger, I did that by hand. I should highlight that. That was nice. So luckily I suspected this anyway because of, there's like this bit here which looks like it's got stone underneath it, but I suspected this whole area here, because it's fenced and it's where the entrance gate is, would already have some stone underneath it, and it seems like it does, which is great. We only have to scrape the very top grass off and it's going to decompose quickly. It's not going to be a huge pile of mud forever and ever and ever, because I was having a bit of trouble as to where to put it. But secondly, big beetle, we are going to be doing a reed bed grey water system, and we bought some reeds for it. It's about £100 for 50 plug plants, but they're tiny, and we need to make, what, 30 metres of it, 30 square metres. I think it's 5 to 8 square metres per person, but they recommend a bit more than that, so we're going to go for 10 metres per person. But the reeds are so expensive, and then I was thinking about it. Pretty much our whole plot is a marsh, and as I was digging these bits up here, of course I'm going to grab the one that's still buried, aren't I? Like we've got all of these bits, which are, you know, just, I mean, they look like reeds to me. I think they're called marsh grass, but I reckon I'm going to try and save some of these and put these in the grey water tank. There's not that many of these in this section I'm digging up here, but there's a band of it just against this fence, so I think I'm going to try and save as much of this as I can. There's a bathtub down there full of water, which I suspect is something to do with sheep or somebody else trying to do something eco, but I'm going to dump these in that and see if they are still alive and come back. And then what's 50 divided by? It's like £2 a plug plant. And when you need thousands, it starts getting quite expensive. Whereas if they're here on the plot, then I'm going to try and use these. So we're going to save that, scrape the top off. The hardcore's coming soon. Yeah, as I said, let's get it done. Okay, so while it was raining, I focused on cleaning out the last couple of bits in the barn, because the wall that I'm doing here, I need to get insulation and board behind there, and all of this kind of sheep pen stuff is in the way. I can't get in there to screw it, so I thought I'd start by sweeping out the last remaining bit. It's also where that sheep decided to call its last resting place, so it was a bit pongy in there, so I'm hoping by sweeping it out that smell will clear. The stone arrived and the delivery driver was top man and dropped it in 3 loads for me, so I don't have to spread it out quite so far. It's 20 tons, which in my mind sounded like an awful lot more than it looks, but I think it'll cover what we need it to. The caravan was supposed to be here tomorrow, that's why I came up, and I got a phone call a couple of hours ago saying that he doesn't think it's going to be possible because they need a police escort, which they didn't get, haven't got, can't get. Blah 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 blah. So it might be another couple of weeks before it's up, which is okay because I'm going to come up again anyway, and you know, I'm getting stuff done while we're here, so when the wife and son come up there we've got a bit more, we're a bit further ahead. So we're at 2 o'clock, I'm going to get on with spreading this out, and hopefully today we'll be finished with the digger. Not that I'm going to send it back, but you know, the work's done, and then tomorrow I can finish this off, and maybe we'll be finished with him tomorrow. So I flattened that off, didn't film the last bit because I thought you'd probably had enough of me running around with the digger and a rake. I never know how to get it perfectly, well not perfectly flat, but flat with the digger, so if anybody's a digger driver, let me know how to do it, because I always find I do most of it with a rake and I didn't use a shovel that much this time, but I can get it flat and straight with hand tools, but I'm not good enough for the digger. I don't know whether you should use the bucket or the back of the bucket or scoop it, or it feels like it takes me longer. I could do it with a digger, but it takes longer with that than it does with my hand tools. But I'm sure somebody who can actually drive a digger would be able to get a pretty decent job far quicker than me. But I mean, it's like I said, getting it done, that's the job today, and it did cover the drive in the end. I've got the main reason I did this, other than just to have somewhere to, you know, get in here, is this bit of concrete here was a different level, so you'd always find that when you came up in a van or anything you had this huge bump, which when we had the caravan delivered would probably be an issue and get annoying after a while with driving vehicles on and off. So it's not bad. It's 5:30. I'm going to move the digger over there, I'm going to move the van over here, I'm going to put the barbecue on for dinner, and I'd like at the end of the day to have digger over that side and that big pile moved, and I'd like to have all the old bits of wood, like those bits over there and those bits over there, taken off and put on the fire pile for either tonight or tomorrow. Don't know if I'm going to have a Viking party on my own. Big bonfire. I'm probably going to save it for tomorrow actually. But then that means that when we start tomorrow, I can just get on with this and not have to bugger about with all sorts of other bits and bobs in here. So, but it is already 5:30 and I haven't had any food, and I need to do something about the mattress in the tent, or lack of mattress in the tent, because the ground's a bit bumpy and I'd like to get some sleep so that I can work tomorrow. So it's getting into the evening now, and I think I'm about done filming for the day. I might continue digging, but I'm going to put the camera away and get all the batteries charged and stuff. I got the extra 3 rooms, 2, whatever they were, the sheet pens in here. Got them all cleared out, all the wood chopped out and swept up. So you know, this is looking much better, and I can fit in between the stud work and that wall, right? So I can get on with that tomorrow. If I don't know how tomorrow's going to go. Don't know if I'm going to start with stud work or how much of this digging I'll get done. It'll probably be weather dependent. If it's raining, I'll do the stud work. If it's not, I might continue the digging if I don't get it all done tonight. But we'll have a go, get a few scoops started, see how far we get. I'd like to get this sheep. He's buried, but I'd like to get him buried because I can still smell him a bit. There we go. I'll see you tomorrow.